purpose, or when you are on purpose, and that could be a purpose in the moment, is that that throws off a frequency. And I mean, can you guys relate to it? Feels really, really good to be around people that are really fiery and activated and really loving what it is that they're doing, right? And that has an effect on us, right? Like when we're around people like that has an effect. And I think that is truly why like Truth does Truth Playhouse. One of the reasons, right? It's like you're on fire, other artists on fire, and it's amazing. So artists have understood this for a long time, and and I think artists know a lot of things, right? And that's for I think many of the reasons why artists in general are threatening. They're threatening to the status quo because they really want people to do things creatively, do things their own way, but that doesn't fit the machine. So what's really exciting, though, so back to the jungle, right? So all of these things are flowing, and all these beings are doing whatever they want to do, in the environment that they live in offers this opportunity for them to do that, and they all stay abundant, they all stay happy, and everything, everything seems like it's pretty friggin' awesome. Of course, there's a lot of killing, that happens in the jungle, and lots of things that maybe don't fit this exact metaphor. But what I came to realize was that the life that I was living wasn't like giving me life force, and I realized that I wasn't actually able to then give other people life force, and that's what I wanted to do. How could I be supportive of helping other people find life purpose if I wasn't at the frequency I needed to be to inspire people to jump into that for themselves? And so that was the big quest. After that journey, I quit my business, quit the tech business, and said, I don't know where I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing. I just can't do this anymore. I just gotta stop. I need to go find a cave. I need to go somewhere and just figure out what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna go. And my cave was the ridge. One of the ridges up here. I found cannabis. For the first time. I'd never been in the cannabis business before. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know weed got trimmed, honestly. And then it was so nice because I got to be off my computer for 2 years. I was the dude on the mountain that they brought up food to because nobody else could be up there, and I just got to be with the plants, and I just got to be with these plants from seed to finish, and I got this like experience of like, wow, look at what happens to these plants. Have any of you grown plants, right? And plants in general happen to all plants, but the beautiful thing about cannabis is that it used to be worth a lot of money, right? And when something is worth a lot of money, there's a lot of attention to it, and so it mattered a lot. Every little thing mattered, and we were able to give it like the highest, the best forms of nutrients that we could, because we could afford to pay like thousands and thousands of dollars for nutrients because we could make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars with the plant, right? So it made sense. But the beauty about it was that I got to witness what happens when we feed these plants, when we care for these plants, we sing to these plants, and we play with these plants, and we dance with these plants, and we give them this like nurturing energy in the same way that we give to our children. It's the same thing. So the little plants were like my first children, and what I realized was that, well, this is it, And in my entrepreneurial failures, which I loved every single one of them, led me to believe that, hey, that like the life that most entrepreneurs live out there, especially if you're a socially conscious entrepreneur and if you're really trying to do something that isn't about just making money, it became really hard because then the venture capital world and the angel funding world, and all that stuff, they don't really want to fund businesses that don't make them a ton of money. And I knew that I wanted to shift it. I don't believe that the systems that we live in will actually serve our whole human collective in the future, and so we need to reinvent the system, just like Buckminster Fuller did. And so we need to change the system, even do something different, and I look at nature. And so it helps to look at nature. How does nature work, and how does nature thrive, and why does this jungle thrive so much? What is it that this jungle has that we as humans aren't fully stepping into. And then this study into like nonviolent communication has been huge because it's all about helping each other meet each other's needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs are a really, really big thing. We need really good shelter. We need really good food. We need to have all of our basic needs taken care of, and we need to have community. And then what? Like what would you all be doing if you had all your basic needs met? And so many different aspects come in the way of that in the way that makes us live, right now. And I see a future that could be different. And so when Sean and I found this land, I could have never done this. I was a weed farmer, and the plan in the beginning was, hey, let's grow a bunch of weed. Let's get the money from the weed, and then we'll invest into this place, and we'll build this epic place, and then then we can do all things that we want to do. But the problem was, 2 years into that, the whole entire industry changed. Started changing. This county specifically outlawed all levels of cannabis. And so the plan was a 5-year plan, and then it would have been great because we would have had stacks of cash after 5 years, and we could reinvest it into doing all the things that we want to do. But it didn't work out that way, and it didn't work out that way because the laws changed. And then we were 2 years into it, and we had this epic garden, and we basically broke even, but it costed hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally, to build the garden and to the land, hundreds of thousands of dollars invested by Sean to buy the land, right? And then we were sitting there saying, okay, so we don't have a lot of money left. We can get by. It's not like but we don't have like the million that we were hoping that we would have to build this epic place. And so once again, so the vision just comes back to the vision was that we want to build a place that truly provides people an environment where all their needs are met. And not only are all their needs are met, but we want to provide them an ambiance and a frequency of just unlimited potential, essentially. And creativity is one of the magical ingredients in all this. And so collaboration is another really magical ingredient in all of this. Inclusion is a really other incredible ingredient in all of this. And this isn't the things that I'm coming up with. These are things from the jungle, right? All of these things are existing in the jungle. So all we're doing is taking the things that are really, really amazing in the jungle, and we're like creating the metaphors, and then we're duplicating the things for our lives. And so it's been like extremely hard. Like it's been really, 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 really hard because we haven't had outside funding to do any of this stuff. It's been really, really hard. I haven't taken a paycheck for 10 years. I'm doing this. There's been side gigs, there's been this, there's been that, but it's just been like this is just a thing. We have to build this because we had to be really careful of taking the money also because the money that other people would want to invest, like what do they want out of that? And is what they want out of that actually in complete alignment with being in service to all of the people that can collaborate in this? And I didn't want to leave that up to one or two or three other people that just had a chunk of cash that could come in to get involved. So I knew there was going to be a better way. And I didn't know what it was, but we just kept building, And then CoLab Campout was one of the first things that really cracked things open for this place. And so CoLab Campout first happened about 6 years ago. Was the first CoLab Campout, and what we came to realize is that as we come together, and you've all realized this, by now if you've been here for this whole weekend, you've realized how powerful it is and what we can do when we're dozens and dozens of people just really coming together and really helping each other out and how we can crack open and what we can do to create the things that we're creating. It's really phenomenal. And so after CoLab Campout is one of the key ingredients. However, it's not CoLab Campout that makes the place actually happen. CoLab Campout is an energy force. It's an energy force that happens once a year, and it acts as this flagship event And then there are other flagship events that we have, which happen like 4 times a year. Various different things happen. Like we have this ecstatic dance event, we have a fusion dance event. We have in the future I want to do like a Vipassana type event here. Once again, the pillars of Heartland Collective is inner work, outer work, transformation, celebration. It sounds familiar, right? Because it's the same thing we do for CoLab Campout. Those are the pillars of Heartland Collective. And so, what one thing that has built this place over time has been a really amazing cultural exchange program. So there are people all over the world that have been that want to come to America, and they usually can't actually afford to go stay in hotels and go do all the different things that they want to come to America. Most of them just want to learn English, right? And so they come. We have this 2 to 4 week educational program, so they get to practice English while they're here, and because we're in a build mode, they learn how to build stuff. They learn how to sand things. They learn how to, they learn how to take care of the farm. We also have a food farm, and they start learning about farming, and they learn all these like really, really vital and important skills that would be incredible for just anybody to learn. I think we have about 50, I would say 60% international visitors and about, I guess, 40% like international, 40% like Americans, or 30% Americans maybe, and 60 to 70% foreigners that come through here. And it's amazing because once again, like I'm coming back to this example of the jungle. Like the diversity is huge, and the ideas that we create, and the ideas that other people bring from other cultures, and the integration of their ideas into what it is that we're creating here, gives this place even more character. And so over the years, many years, we've been having this. We've had over 400 and probably 430 volunteers come through here that have helped build this whole entire place. And it's been like so fun. And what I've learned about the whole process is that when a brand new person comes to a space like this, they they never. I mean, this isn't the America that you learn about in the books, right? But when they stay here for 2 to 4 weeks and then they go back to their country and they share about America, this is America to them. Yeah. We're on many different sites. So like we're on Woof, we're on World Packers, we're on Hippo Help, we're on Help X, we're on Stay Away, something. Yeah. Work Away, Work Away, StayAway.com. And what they come here for a cultural exchange, right? And so they get to learn about the Heartland culture. And the Heartland culture is all about, like I said, nonviolent communication is a huge one. So they learn how to communicate, how to deal with conflict, and how to get along with people. And we teach them about like weekly meetings and what it's like to have clarity with the people that you live with. And we introduce people to the 4 agreements, and so they learn how to live with each other in a way that respects all these boundaries and people. It's amazing. They really, it's I just see their lives changing, and so sometimes some people say, oh, you just come and have people and like just come work for free, but like when you're here or if you talk to these people, you realize, and that's also why we limit the program. It's a very, very important thing to limit the program to max a month, and sometimes we extend it if they feel like they are on purpose. If they're just coming here to like because they have nowhere else to go, their frequency doesn't actually serve what it is that we're doing. But if they come here for a short amount of time, they're really fired up. It really serves what it is that we're doing. And because we have people on a cycle, like they come in here for a little bit, and then new people come in, they get to feel that. Every single time a new person comes in, the whole energy shifts. Every single time somebody leaves, the whole energy shifts. And it's amazing because it really feels like there's this like budding jungle with all of these people coming in and out. And what's amazing, I think what's most amazing is that we've come to this place. right now where we can, with the advent of something called blockchain and something called like tokenomics, this new technology that actually allows us to so the way that title of land used to be held, or still held in like 99.99% of places, is that very few people can or you can be multiple owners of a title, but it's very complicated to sell property. It's very complicated to buy with many different people. But what I came to realize is that with this new technology that's now available, we can create our own currencies. And the dollar, used to be based on gold, and now it's not based on that anymore. And who knows what's going to happen to that in the future? But this land, because now we've created this amazing asset, we've created this amazing place, and we were just getting started in this whole place. And so it has a property value, right? And all of these buildings that we're creating have value. All the trees that we plant have value. And when these trees get bigger, does it have more value or less value? More value, right? And so the more trees that we plant, and the more beautiful we make this space, the more value it has for us as collective owners in it. And so this new token that we're creating, so we're creating a heart token. And this heart token is actually based on the value of this whole entire project. And so there's this new membership system that we're developing. So I'm not going to go into details of these different things, but I'm basically brushing over some of these things right now, just so that I can give you an idea of what it is that we're doing, and so I can share with you, different things that if you want to do similar things, we're creating these templates and these models so that other properties can do this and probably do it a lot sooner than we did, because this is new technology and it's just available now. One of the so I'm gonna pause on that because there's this other part which is also brand new technology, and it's interesting because remember when I said I left technology and I didn't think I was going to come back and touch it with a 10-foot pole? What I came to realize a year ago was that I hurt myself. I hurt myself super bad. I snapped my Achilles heel. And it was because of what I realized was that in the same way that nature works, it's like there's seasons to nature. And I wasn't living with the seasons. In the winter time, I was pushing too hard and just like building too hard because I had all these big audacious goals, but I wasn't caring for myself. And in winter, it's all about incubation. It's all about just taking a step back and you're like looking at your life and looking at what you're doing and doing work inside and not pushing so much in the same way. Like now it's spring. Now it's different. And that's once again why we have CoLab Campout right now, is because this is CoLab Campout. It's build oriented, it's creation oriented, and so we do it in the season where everything is just like going with the most. And then we have harvest fusion, which is all about like fusing together and harvesting what's happening in our lives and harvesting a food and having an event all around the theme of harvest. And so these different flagship events that we have, is like they're all very, very specifically designed to go along with the seasons to help us live in more harmony with what's already here, with what's already working. So when I hurt myself, I was out. I was out for 3 to 4 months. I couldn't walk. I could barely walk. I couldn't do anything. I had plans to build a ton of things. I had funding to do a ton of things, but I just couldn't do anything. And so I had to stop everything and just really look at my life. Right? So, okay, so here's this opportunity. Incubate myself. I mean, it was a very uncomfortable life. I fought it. Before I got the message, I was limping around in one leg and tripped, and stepped down and re-injured it, in a bad way. All the doctors said that it was really important that I got surgery on it, except in Sweden, only about 50% of the people get surgery on it. Here, everybody, according to that doctor, gets surgery on it. So there's like so many levels of like why are people over in Sweden like having the same injury and like not getting surgery, and then why are people here, everybody doing this? It's confusing. And so I chose not to get surgery. And now it's better, than what it was before. It's strong, and everything's fine. But the point of that whole experience was that I realized how privileged all of us are. We're so privileged to get to be here right now. We get to be here together. We get to talk about how to create this new world. We get to talk about how we can live together and co-create together. We get to talk about, we get to do art together, dance together, listen to this epic music. We get, like, you're purple, dude. You get to be purple, and that's okay. That is a privilege. And it seems so stupid to us that some of these things are a privilege. But there's a person coming tomorrow, Sahara Dawn. Does anybody know about her? So she does this, freedom. She supports the freedom movement for the women of Iran. And there are so many things happening on the world. There's people in bomb shelters right now. There's people that are suffering hardcore. We talked about the people in Costa Rica. Like a lot of shit is happening in the world, and we are so freaking privileged here. And as Americans, we get to do like pretty much whatever we want to do, and that is a huge privilege. And with this creation, like I talk to my mom about all the time, we could never do this in Sweden for other reasons. And so with this privilege comes a responsibility for me. And so at the same time, I was, starting to explore this new blockchain technologies and these other things, and I started exploring virtual reality. And has anybody seen Ready Player One? You all seen that, right? Scary shit. Scary shit. I saw that and I loved the movie, but I was like, whoa, is that going to happen? Is that really where like this world is going? And I think, yeah, it definitely is for some people. For some people, because they don't have the privileges that we have. They don't have access to land. They don't have other things. They're going to be pushed to cities, and they're going to be, like decimated because these cycles are cycles, and there's this massive Titanic, and there's so many problems out there that are incredibly hard to fix all of them. And I think that the only way we can actually fix those problems is to start small. There's many reasons you don't have a multi-hundred acre property. Some people are trying to do this type of thing with hundreds and hundreds of acres or thousands of acres, and that's great. But that's really big. Like, how can you start small, and how can you figure out the ways so we can be like small nucleuses of people to create these hubs or places? And how can we actually not have to wait 10 years for it to get to this point? How can we let people know about all the challenges that we've had so that we can do it more rapidly? And so, virtual reality, I think, is actually an answer. And so, for the last year, we've had architects here, and we've been modeling of every single building that you see here. Every single building, every single the limo. So, and these birds, we don't have the birds in there yet. But Cortez is a cat. Cortez, so, all of these things, everything is there. And so what's good about that is that for the people that don't have access to this like we do, now we can teach. We can use it as an educational platform, and we can really help show people what's possible. And it's not based on some Ready Player One. This is so fake. Of course we're gonna have flying pink elephants. And we can do other things that are really crazy that we can only do in VR. But the point is that we want to showcase what's real, what's actually real, and what can we do, and so that becomes its own. It becomes its own world. And if you haven't had a chance to look at it yet, we're showcasing our beta version. And so next year for CoLab Campout and many other events here, we'll be here, and we can produce events. We can produce events like Paige and I. We worked super hard on a campaign for a permaculture event, and I don't know if anybody else has worked on an event and had to cancel it, but it sucks. It sucks. The only losers are the ones that put in all of their energy and time, to put on these events. And so if there's ways to eliminate that possibility, then we should explore those. And so by extending the things that we're doing into another dimension, essentially, we're now duplicating the possibility for way more people to come and experience these things. It's also for rapid prototyping. Like so, Heartland's already done. Heartland to the base of where we're talking about is already modeled. But the new buildings that we put in, now we can put them into the land. Now we can walk through them. And now we can model them in like a fraction of the time and the money. And now we can showcase to other people that might not have the same visions that we do. So, well, what's all this going to look like? And sometimes Shauna was really sad. Not sad, I mean, she's gifting of the fact that she plants trees that she's not going to sit under, right? And that's totally selfless. And for us as younger generations, we can sit under the shade of these trees, but the work that she does here sometimes is stuff that she's not going to be part of. So to a degree, that's just the truth of it. And to a degree, I think that it's beneficial for us all to keep doing that. But as a fun fact, in virtual reality, we can grow these trees in seconds, and she can actually sit under the trees that she's actually going to plant. We can design this whole entire property out to what it's actually going to feel like and be like. And it's magical. And so some people are afraid of technology, but I think that technology is going to come no matter what. And with the integration of all the artificial intelligence and all the other things that are happening, there are going to be there's white magic and there's black magic. And so it's all there for us. And Heartland Collective is definitely a model that's going to be taking the highest degree of advantage of all these new technologies and integrating it so that we can share what it is that we're doing with truly millions and millions and millions of people. Like, isn't it just like incredible to realize that this event here that we just had could technically be available to, like, I think, the world, to the world, and that's really, really powerful. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. But in close, I'm going to say that there's a handful of different membership options that we have available. We have ally memberships, and anybody can be an ally to Heartland. You're all already allies. You should see me or talk to me or send me an email to become an official ally. And as an official ally, you get to tell people about what it is that we're doing. And if people that you tell about what it is that we're doing become members, then you'll get credit. And now we have a credit system which is based on the blockchain. And if you don't know what that means, it's like it's based on a system that tracks forever. And you've invited these people to be part of what it is that we're doing. Because that's how nature works. And so these are the systems that we're creating. We also have team memberships. We're looking for a farmer right now. The team memberships are the ones that are helping this venture actually become what it is that it is. We have Joel's our build manager. He's around here somewhere. I'm the director. Tom is the elder of the land. And then we have a farm manager role that we need to fill, and we have a volunteer manager role that we need to fill, and we have a few other ones, and those are team members. And so they get to be part of this team, and they get part equity in what it is that we're doing, they get to really help what the mission is. And then we have bronze, silver, and gold members. And bronze, silver, and gold members are investors in essentially what it is that we're doing. It's kind of like a timeshare. They buy it one time, and then you get to stay here for 1 week per year for the rest of the ownership of this NFT on an NFT basis. And that means that you can sell it in the future. And every year you get these extra tokens that you can use in the virtual world. You get all these extra bonuses. And the point of running back to what I was saying before, the value of the token and the value of what it is that we're doing is what the value is today. And like I said before, the more trees that we plant, the more buildings we build, the more things that we create, offers this great opportunity for the value to go up. And so we hope that our members will be with us forever. But if you don't, then because you can see what we've done here in a weekend. What would that look like if we have these events consistently, maybe like once a quarter? What would this place look like if we invested more and more collectively into creating this? All the value would go up. But I think that more than a financial thing, it's truly about knowing that you have an epic place to come visit, to come and do it, to come and see. What's it like to experience nature trees. I remember like when the tree next to this gentleman over here was just this tall. And now it's like 12 feet tall. And all these other fruit trees. I've been with them. Like I'm super sad about this tree because I don't know what's happening to him, her, they, however this tree wants to identify. And there's stuff going on. And like when you spend more time on this land, you start noticing things. And that once again, it's like this metaphor for your life. It's like if you spend more and more time with land, you spend more and more time with yourself, and you notice yourself, and notice things that are happening with you. It becomes very, very healing. So, with all that said, I'm just really, really happy that all of you came to CoLab Campout. And I'm really, really grateful for your energy and your efforts. And, we couldn't do this. We couldn't do this without this. And this is why we do it. You know, like your energy provides more life. You know, like the dragon activation we did today, like all that work that was done by people. But you know, the spirits just like feel that, right? And all of these other things that we're doing, all the efforts that you get put into all the things, makes a huge difference. You know, thanks for the fusion event. It's so cool. So I'm really looking forward to the cacao ceremony starting soon at the fire. I'm really looking forward to the music that we're gonna have here. Celebration has like officially begun. And we have a lot to celebrate. Any quick questions? What's up? You can come see it. You can come see me later, I'll tell you. But enjoy the night, enjoy the land, take care of each other, drink lots of water. Much love to you all. Mic drop.
Somebody had a wireless in here, so I didn't touch it. But I hooked the DI into channel 2. I'm ready to put XLR into channel 1 if they're done with the mic. So here is your 1/4" input. There. So I have a 1/4" on this side as well. That way you can have stereo and come through both channels.
Do you have 1/4" cables?
Male. I should have 1/4" males.
Yeah, 1/4" cables.
Yes. And then they go, yeah. How long do you need them?
I think just to reach from my sound card to the DIs.
Yeah. XLRs, were those for microphones or what was?
The XLRs are for the actual controller.
Okay.
Do you know what this is powering? This looks like it might be important. Is there a way to extend the power here to have space for my computer?
The power's good.
That could be cool. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. In school, they make us carry around a sugar baby, like a baby that we dressed up like it was back sugar. Oh. And you threw like whatever. Was that their form of child? Oh, we had to do that too. That was like control. That was like don't have babies. They have like honey and you have to care for your sugar baby. They have the child development class to do that. I remember. I just know I hated it, but it's funny because I think about like how you can't be the kids with your sugar baby. Oh. Can't be the kids. Yeah. Okay, fine. Candy baby. Sugar baby. And it has some big ones. That smells like
Dos, 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 uno. CoLab Camp 2023, 2-2. Lloro por quererte, por amarte, por desearte. Por quererte, por amarte, por desearte. Ay, cariño. Nunca, pero nunca me abandones, cariño. La rima fina me eleva y nunca se desatina, destina a las palabras esta función que sublima y con estos ritmos y versos con que son convexos. In the monitor is a little, the frequency is like me, sound like a little strong or low. Sí. Dos, ajá, better, yes. Sí. Ey, dos. Morenita por el sol que la besaría, recibiendo el calor, gratitud al garabino, hermana, madre, hija, abuela y la nieta, todas esas mujeres que han llegado a su meta, con la existencia pues la vida es una fiesta, con simplicidad honesta, valiosas, empoderadas, las sirenas brujas sagas, ya impulsan mi jornada,